record start. That has happened.
Hello and welcome to Cue the what?
The Muses.
The Muses. Welcome
podcast.
to Cue the Muses podcast.
Episode
0.5.
Actually, that's a
trial run.
good call. This is totally a trial run. We are still figuring out how to set up stuff for sure.
Definitely the pilot premiere. This is our pitch to ourselves to see if we're good enough to do this and pitch it back to you, so we can have people actually maybe enjoy this. But we're doing this new thing, and Ash and I have been planning this for like 3.5 hours, so this is going to be perfect.
Well, most of it technical issues, but we are up and running and we are good. And we have just returned. We're 1 week in from returning from Spookala, which is the craziest wild event. And we had a booth there. Cue the Muses did. You had built walls that represented the laboratory from the show that we brought. It was amazing.
So it's a horror convention that they do here in Florida, in Ocala. That's the Spookala in Ocala. The next one's going to be in Tampa. I guess that's going to be Spookcampa or something. They've only done it 3 times. The first time they did it, my son found it. He said, "Hey, Dad, check this out." And I was like, "What is this?" "Oh, it's a horror convention." "Oh, Corey Taylor's from Slipknot's going to be there." "Oh, Ice Nine Kills is there playing acoustic set." "What?" I was like, "Yes, we're going. This is going to be amazing." And it was. And it was so much fun. And then this year when they did it, we missed the second one. I think Corey Feldman was there or something, but we missed the second one. The third one just happened 2 weeks ago. We got lucky enough to get a spot, have a vendor booth, and we built basically, like Ash said, an extension of our studio from the episode at the convention center as a vendor. And we weren't selling anything. And everyone else was selling things.
Not selling anything, just spending money on having a booth so we could tell people about this crazy show.
Yeah, all we wanted to do was tell people, "Hey, we did this thing. We're doing this thing. We exist. We want you to know that we're doing it. And if you like it, fuck yeah, let's hang out and do it." But we didn't really know how to share that with people. So when people would walk by the booth, they would look at all these amazing props. We had all the stuff set up. Michael Morgan's helmet, the Woobler, the cadence capture.
Let's show a clip of it.
Yeah, bring it up.
Let me cue it up real quick. Here, check this out, guys. It's really cool. Oh, and Seth Green was there. That kind of stuff.
I love movie soundtracks. I love legitimate needle drop music that is appropriate for a film and becomes as a collection, like your own mixtape related to that movie. I love that James Gunn really revived the concept of a needle drop movie soundtrack and made it like a mixtape.
No one knows how loud it is.
The props look so cool. People wanted to buy them and they weren't for sale. It was.
They don't
Gizmo!
Big Gizmo car!
hear the sounds.
That's the Dira.
I had the headphones set up for people to check stuff out.
Get into it.
Somehow they just follow through.
Spookala.
Everyone stop around us. We're posing for a picture.
Everybody
You guys can totally go. Just
Bum rush. We're all of death.
But I can't, no matter how hard I try. Turn it down, turn it down, turn it down, turn it down. Do they even care? If I'm single.
so many cool outfits. So many talented artists.
Amazing cosplays, amazing just artwork, unique,
Wild dead animals.
Molly Z.
Every day day the sun comes up, right? Every day there's new birth. So
There's Kurt. He's coming in episode 4 from Defy the
take a
Tyrant.
deep breath.
Channel yourself, man.
Be present. Be here.
Don't pick the
Eye of the
first one.
tiger.
Don't pick the
Okay, little
I think that's
backstory.
good.
Kurt, that's enough. So it was super fun, super the perfect types of people doing the perfect types of things, man. It was really cool. But what were we doing? You know, what did we do? Well, we we wrote some music, and Ash said, well, I have this idea for a concept album release, which is, we didn't have a name for it. The Musey is what we call it now. The Musey series, Cue the Muses, but there wasn't a name for it. It was a concept to have music released as a visual experience, and that's what Ash has been pushing for the last couple of years. We touched on it with the Giants video a couple of years ago with the visual EP, but Ash, like, tell them what you had this idea that conceptualized from just a riff.
Yeah,
Let's write a riff.
Yeah, you gave a riff over, and then I came up with a riff to go with it, and then I had a riff extension, and then before you know it, we are writing a full song. And then I had been out of music for 10 years 7 years from Kill Clouseau. And I wanted to return in full flight with take advantage of all the production knowledge that I'd built up over the years. You know, I really took a break after Kill Clouseau, focusing on video stuff, and I've been wanting to put everything that I know how to do artistically into something. And the Cue the Muses has gradually become it. And it's like it's a web series that's a sci-fi comedy show, and then inside of that show, we unveil a new song off of the album that has not been released yet. And it's unveiled as a giant epic music video that has been, you know, we spent all this time making, recording, filming, 300 hours of editing per music video.
It's like we're Bill and Ted in the Matrix, but we're tenacious.
You're not supposed to give away the plot.
Oh, yeah. and that's the kind of thing we run into. We're trying to explain to people at Spookalo, like, what are you guys doing? What is this? Like, well, it's kind of a long story, and it's kind of a short story, but it's more of a long story because it's more than just Bill and Ted in the Matrix. I mean, it was a riff, then it was a song, then it was several songs. Well, then it was, okay, well, let's who is going to play to this weird stuff? Like, we're writing these songs, we're bouncing ideas off each other. It's like, man, like, we have to record this, but who in their right mind? So we thought about it for a while. It's really riffy. There's obviously two guitar players are writing an album. So like, okay, we tried a couple things. We had a drummer that was in California or something. It was like send the tracks, and he wrote some stuff and sent it back, and it was really cool, but it was a little bit detached. And in the back of my mind, I was like, well, there's this drummer that I know that I was in a band with years back, and he's kind of an incredible human being. And if he's into it, well, then he's the guy. And Ash, you were like, well, who is he? I said, well, his name's Tim, and he's really
and I
good.
said no.
And
I said right then and there, it's like, if it's a Tim, it's a no-go.
Anyway, like writing this music, we said, all right. And Tim was into it. We sent him a couple of tracks, and Tim was very responsive. He said he would really dig it, and he said he wanted to do it. So we booked with Brett Hessla in Tennessee, who's our engineer, and Tim flew out there to do the tracks with us, and never once had we rehearsed anything in the same room. He had heard the scratch tracks. We tracked a couple scratch tracks up there, and Tim sat behind that DW kit at BHP and nailed it like stupid.
It was unreal. I've never made music that way ever. I mean, it's always been a band in a room, and of course that sounds like it makes the most sense. That's where chemistry happens. But just, you know, me and Dick had written these guitar songs that went 8 to 12 minutes long per song as two guitars, and there was complicated, there's weird time signatures going on, and it changes all over the map. It's definitely very progressive. And then that's why we needed a drummer that wasn't just going to put a backbeat. We needed somebody that would actually create like be a dynamic of the band that helped push it, and that's exactly. So we need a really talented drummer because these are very complicated songs. And Tim gave a whole month of listening to the tracks, coming up with ideas, and we would have these meetings leading up to that recording session at Brett Hessler's studios over in Tennessee, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And Tim just would explain these ideas, but he didn't really play any drum parts. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah, he's like,
Dick, I love him. I love his philosophy. I wanna marry the guy, but can he
Keep in mind,
keep
in mind, I'd been in a band with him before, but Ash doesn't know this guy from a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
And he's just going on my word, like he's really good. So Tim's like, yeah, I'm thinking in this part of this song, it's like a and I'm like, cool. I know he's got it. And Ash is probably there, like, what is this a fucking?
I put my trust in him, man. Well, I knew he was technically very good. And I think when I heard his enthusiasm, the way he talked about the music, it was like he was looking at it as more than just coming up with beats for some tracks. He really wanted, he was invested in the whole concept that we were presenting of turning this into, at the time, a movie. That was the original plan. This was all going to be a singular movie, the entire album play out in a movie. And as, skipping ahead real quick for just a moment, when I went to edit, we had accumulated all the footage that we did, and we had there's a 60-page script that we're working off of. And we're trying to execute the script. I'm like, this is going to end up being like a 2.5-hour movie, and nobody knows who we are. That's a lot to ask people to sit through, and it's taking forever to make this. We're going to have to wait until I can finish the entire movie before we start releasing it. So we, TV has taken a very, like, shows in general have a lot more respect nowadays than they used to. And a lot of people have favorite shows more than movies, so episodes made a lot of sense. We release a new song in each episode. It becomes an event that we can do over the course of however long it takes to do this, because we're doing this completely independently. We have no budget. And just to have said it clearly, the 2 episodes that we've released just on the editing end, not having anything to do with the writing the music, going out to Murfreesboro, Tennessee multiple times, getting singers out there, all the recordings, then actually writing the script, acting out the parts, filming the scenes, going to locations, getting the props made, all that aside, just on the editing end, 600 hours of editing per episode. So even though there's only 2 episodes, if it, at 40-hour work weeks, that's 3 months per episode. And that's very challenging to do independently, to take off a half a year just on that end. That has nothing to do with all the time we took off to actually do all the filming and the writing. So I'm not complaining. I'm really just expressing how much effort we're putting into it and why it's a slow pace to get these out. And we apologize. We'd love to just have them all out right now. I'd love for the whole album to be out now. But
oh yeah, if we had the funding and the backing to do it, well, hell, we'd be doing nothing but this. But
absolutely, we're
also working and raising families and trying to be normal, functioning human beings at the same time. There's no point in not doing it, because climbing the mountain is what's going to climb the mountain. You're not going to climb the mountain if you don't climb the mountain.
That's how that works. That is absolutely true. And it's not like we're doing, like, everyone's in that boat. This if anything, we're hoping that this podcast is an opportunity where, one, we're going to talk about the project, but this podcast isn't dedicated solely to the project. It's dedicated to the idea of getting to talk to, we want to have interviews and talk to different artists in general, other musicians and bands, and people that are just trying to do something different, and in particular independently. But of course, we'd love to have on people that have success and get to hear more about how they achieved that success, what the road was like getting there, and really kind of dig into the inside nitty-gritty information about how hard this is, guys. Like, if you're in a band, this show, the actual Cue the Muses show, the entire time we've said our demographic is really aimed at people that have ever been or are in bands, because the comedy is kind of in that vein. It's super silly and stuff, but there's so many little things in there that are just musician specific things. And
we didn't try to create fictitious characters to do these silly things.
Ash
It's
and
just
Dick are our
us.
real names.
It's just us. I'm Dick. This is Ash. It's always Ash and then Dick. Never Dick then Ash.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
it's not anything other than two musicians trying to save the world, and
That's
also
all, guys.
just two musicians trying
We're
to
just here to
change,
save the
change
world.
the world. We're trying to change the world. There's amazing content out there, and there's amazing people. There's amazing artists. Spookalla was another eye opener of just how many incredible artists are out there. You know, people, whether you make cosplays, whether you're a painter or an illustrator or a tattoo artist or a musician or a filmmaker, or, you know,
Or a
if
toy
you're a
maker.
writer or a toy maker.
There were toy makers
toy
at this thing. It
makers.
blew me away. These crazy 3D printed. Yeah.
Insane. And Michael Morgan is actually printing up, you might not know this, Ash, but he's printing up some Cue the Muses guitar picks. So soon we'll have some Cue the Muses guitar picks. I'm going to test them out when I'm up there this weekend. I want to find out if they're 1 millimeter,
thickness?
0.88s. These are important things for guitar players.
That's right. That's right.
And a buddy of mine today just asked me if I wanted to start a company building guitars. A guy that I worked with, because he ran across a video. He ran across a video of somebody building a guitar out of like a resin. They made a mold and they poured this resin in, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you want to start a company? You know guitars, and I know the business logic and this and that." It's like, well, you don't understand. Guitar players are kind of this elitist community where the tone woods, and they're really particular about the instruments that they play, and you can't just go throwing some new thing made out of new stuff out there unless the tone is there. So that's just a pipe dream, but whatever.
Well, before you know, we'll be interviewing about that. And that's the fun thing. This is just a loose show, just getting to talk about whether it be technical stuff like that. And I definitely trying to talk about what all this actually takes to do if you're thinking about doing something like this yourself, because realistically, a lot of musicians are making their own music videos to the best of their ability. All this gear has been democratized. People are coming out.
I made one last night.
You made a music video right here on StreamYard last night. And so it's like, hopefully this is just like a hub for information exchange and maybe networking and helping other people get, discovered, and we'll see where it all goes. And the more you guys listen, the more episodes we can make. We don't know how many of these we are going to make. We're not setting a full schedule yet. I will say that we have the tentative goal of at least putting out a couple of these a month, and it will grow past that as you guys listen or dig it more. And we know that. And if there's an audience, we'll continue to make more of these. So it's a pretty exciting start. This is as bare bones as it gets. We're learning how to use the software. We're using StreamYard if you're curious. And this seems to be a podcaster software a lot of people use. You can do things like this. Whoa! In real time. You definitely can't do that in Google Meets.
No. And you can also load in your own backdrops and play a little bit of.
There you go.
You can play a little bit of tunes.
What was that?
We'll figure all that out. That was a tune called Under the Weight by my band Fighting Giants.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was, we dropped that a couple months back, and we got a couple other songs we're going to drop too. And I got a new project coming out too. Nobody knows about that. I'm going to have a little rehearsal tomorrow night. We got a couple members in there that
is that what you sent me a little clip of, or one of the tracks of over the weekend?
I did. Yep.
Yeah.
So I did a scratch track.
Great, guys. It sounds fantastic. It's haunting and beautiful, and but that's all I'll say about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it look for us maybe 4 to 5 months. It's gonna be a while. We're gonna do 5 or 6 songs and come out, play a couple of shows maybe around Tallahassee. But we want to hear from you guys. That's the number one thing for this. This is about interaction. This is about participation, interaction. Do you like what we're doing? Do you care what we're doing? Do you have something you're doing better? Do you have a way for us to do this better? Just talk to us.
Whatever you tell us about, I want you to compare it to us. And I want to know how that's what we need. I need to know how you compare what you're doing to what we're doing. And from there, we'll make an assessment of if we agree. I'm just kidding. Well, I'm happy to hear. There's no laugh track to that. That sounded a little cold. I'm a very sarcastic person. You guys will get to learn that more.
Wait.
Flipping screens. Whoa.
Okay, Ash is con. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about right now. Just preparing.
I hear you.
Hey, hey, Ash. How
I
you
heard
doing?
you. We're approaching a 20-minute mark, and this is our
I
first
think
one.
that's
We're doing it
good.
a little late. I do want to make two mentions real quick, just to close out topically. One is Spookalla wise, we are going to be attending the next Spookalla, and it is in Tampa, and that was mentioned at the beginning, but that's going to be really cool, and that is in October. That
is just before Halloween. It is the weekend of October 22nd. I should have had a date queued up, and if I'm wrong about that, just look it up. Just Google Spookalla.
That's it. That's how you spell it right there. And we do have a highlight video up. You guys are welcome to watch. Maybe we'll be able to put a link to that. And the other thing about that, the second thing is that is when we are aiming to release episode 3 of Cue the Muses. I know that seems like a long ways away, but when it takes 3 months to edit these things, and that's only 4.5 months away or whatnot, that's a lot to fit into a work schedule. So that's what we're aiming for. And in that, we will, the big thing about our show is every song that is unveiled in every episode has a different singer on it from a different band, from bands throughout the Southeast. So I'm not saying who's going to be unveiled.
I'll give you a little hint on who it is. Okay, you got to be quick.
If your internet's too slow, then you didn't get to read it because it was blurry. But that, who we have sing on it did an insane job. And that song that's released is the first song that started this entire project. That's the one that started with the first riff Dick wrote.
I was about to say, fun fact, that on the next episode that comes out, the opening riff is the riff that I sent to Ash that I had that it wasn't working with my guys. And I said, hey, man, you want to write a song together? I got this riff and I'm not sure what to do with it. And I sent it to Ash. And then what he sent me back didn't register to me as music. And it was profound. And I said, wait a minute. What is this? And then it challenged me in a way that I hadn't been challenged in a long time. Time-wise, the whole thing of it. And it just grew. That's what it's about, because it became, and I want to hear about other people who write music with other people and how the back and forth challenge propels a group to elevate themselves and to hit the next plateau and the next plateau and the next plateau, and always trying to evolve and be better or be cleaner or be dirtier or whatever it is. It's just, there's always something beautiful about creating the music. And that was, to me, the best part about this whole process. And then each and every turn, and I'm rambling on again, we have to close this, but each and every turn is some new challenge and some new thing that's always fun. It's always fun.
Yeah, there were so many challenges on so many levels, even going past the music, but just staying in the music territory, the songs themselves. The goal wasn't to make them challenging. The goal was to make them to not have any rules on where they could go. And that's why we have long ass songs. And when you hear the opening riff to this next song that's released in episode 3, and you're like, okay, how the hell did it turn into all these other things that it goes to? And that's where we're like, when me and Dick realized, like, man, what we're putting together is something that I've never experienced before in a songwriting. There's some magic here. Let's see where we can take this on more songs. And that's where it went. So
collaborative
spirit of beauty and joy. And if you haven't seen the episodes and you are actually watching to the end of this, you must know us personally and you still haven't watched the episodes, which would be even weirder. But we do have 2 episodes out, cuethemuses.com. And they are free to watch, guys. And the music videos for those are, if you want to go to just the music, you can. Both the music videos are out. The first one features Nadira Carey, and she sings on a song called My Soul is an Element. And then the second song that's unveiled has both Cody Williford and David Rowe. Cody Williford was the lead singer for my old band, Kill Clouseau. And David Rowe is the lead singer for Fighting Giants, a band that is still active and has new music coming out soon that Dick is promoting. So it's all good. And I've made a visual EP for Fighting Giants. If you haven't seen that, my gosh, just look it up online, YouTube, guys. Fighting Giants visual EP will bring it up, and that was
Maybe
amazing.
we'll share a little bit of it in a future episode.
Definitely, absolutely. That's one of my most proud projects too, for sure.
Thank you guys so much for sticking with us. And this beta version is just one of however many you want. Tell us how many you want or don't want.
We love you guys. We'll see you later on the other side. I don't know how to end this, so I'm just going to count down.
I'll end it.
Wait, on 3 or on 4?
1. Wait. 3.
Wait, on 4 or